Now, here's a little story I've got to tell about this one fat pastor that you know so well. It started way back in history with a bike, lots of food, and me, Rob E. Hey everybody, it's Rob, the fat pastor on a mountain bike, and I am out today on May 1st to do a little gravel ride, and I thought today we'd do something a little different. I'm doing a gravel ride, and I thought I'd take some time to share with you what it's been now 18 months into my health and fitness journey, and give you the ups, the downs, and the things that I've learned as I continue to work towards my goal of losing 150 pounds. So with that, we'll see you on the trail. Okay, so as I said, this is the 18-month update on my health and fitness journey, my goal to lose 150 pounds and rebuild my health. Okay, so 18 months in, what's been going on? Well, my last report was in November, and I talked about how I had lost 90 pounds. I shared really everything I've been doing in that report. So not much has changed on that front, but there are a few things I want to note. Long story short, I am still eating basically a whole foods type diet. I'm not going crazy on excessive proteins, trying to go into ketosis or anything like that, and I'm still being careful with sugars, etc., while dealing with the whole diabetes thing. As I said in that 12-month report, and it's pretty much since I started, this has been a long journey, and I planned it to be a long journey, or I expected it to be a long journey, because it didn't take me overnight to put on 150 pounds, and I didn't want to get discouraged if I couldn't take off 150 pounds easily. So I did expect that this was going to be at least a 2-year journey to really lose the weight, learn how to create better health habits, and keep the weight off. And that's where I'm at now. So long story short, for the first year, I ran 14 to 1700 calories a day to jumpstart things. There's some deep ones in here. And those 14 to 1700 calories a day, like I said, consisted of a balanced diet. Grains, proteins being chicken or eggs or pork, stuff like that. Keeping everything pretty balanced according to nutrition standards. So that's what I was doing and I was also intermittent fasting for that first year. Well, around November, when I put out that last video, I realized that at the end of every week I was getting exhausted, and I wasn't able to maintain not a fitness level, but a strength level that I wanted to have by the end of the week. And as you know, I have a day job, which I had just changed to in the beginning of November, which is also a reason that I made some changes in my diet. My day job is technical sales for an industrial gas company, and then I work on the weekend in my church. I work all the time in my church. Let's face it, if you're in ministry, you're in lifelong ministry. But I run all the technical stuff in my church on Sundays, so I need to kind of be awake and have energy on Sunday. So with the change in the job and the change in the way I was feeling, I decided to cut the intermittent fasting. And since I had dropped 90 pounds, I also needed to answer some questions to myself. What is this sustainable? 14 to 1700 calories a day. And the reality is, not in the long haul. So I did some research, talked to my buddies who are very health and fitness oriented and trained, and increased my caloric intake to 2,500 calories a day, which I knew would slow down my weight loss, but I knew it had to be done. So I did those two things. I cut the intermittent fasting, and I increased my caloric intake, and immediately started to notice I was able to have energy again for the long haul. And that was pretty exciting. So with more energy, I decided that I was gonna do 10 miles a day for the month of December. And on the trainer, out in the woods, whatever it took, make it a goal. 31 days in December, 310 miles on the bike. So I was faithful to that goal all the way until December 25th, Christmas Day, when I came down with COVID, and that kicked my butt. And you know, I don't want to get into the political debates, blah blah blah. Long story short, I've had pneumonia a lot more than a human should have it, so I did get vaccinated and have been very careful throughout the pandemic, just because I'm an at-risk person. But that did kick my butt, but I tried anyway. As soon as I got better, I got back working on my goals. And that's that story in a nutshell. Just to make a real long story real short, I have lost an additional 10-12 pounds since I put out my 1-year video. So that puts me really in the low 250s for total weight loss. And I'm gonna come out and say this: when I started a lot higher, and before I really decided to start vlogging it, because I was ashamed. I started telling you guys when I got down around 350 to 340, but the reality is I was 372 when I started this. So, you know, my goal still though is to get to 200 even, because I said at 350 I wanted to lose 150 pounds. So that's kind of something I never really told people until recently, and I felt like it was important to make sure everybody knew. So I have lost a lot of weight, and I do feel good about it. As a matter of fact, today I'm wearing a set of Fox shorts that they're 2XL, but these Fox shorts ran small because at the time I bought them I was in a 36-inch waist. So, you know, and they probably stretched a little over time, but these things are close to 20 years old, and they haven't gotten a lot of use, so I'm excited to say I have them on. I'm right now 40-inch waist down to XL shirts. I am closing in on a 38-inch waist right now, and I feel great. I'm a lot stronger than I was because of all the gym work, and really happy about that. So those are all the good. So you're probably saying, okay, Rob, what are the bads? You said the good, bad, and the ugly. Well, here's one of the bads. In my mind, in 6 months, I only lost 10 to 12 pounds. And I think that's horrible. So that's a bad, which gets to the ugly. You know, the whole body image thing. I am still working towards my goal. I want to make that very clear. I'm still working towards my goal. I need to lose the weight for my health. My wife, in the most loving way, has been telling me over the last 6 months that I have an unnatural body image issue, and that part of the reason I slowed down ended up being because of that. part of the reason was because I needed to make sure I could sustain this, because I've never on my journey been able to lose weight. So to have over 100 pounds lost, I needed to make sure I could sustain what I'm doing. Not only that, I needed to make sure I wouldn't gain weight back. So that honestly is part of this. But anyway, yeah, the body image thing, yeah, became a problem. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like emotionally, I feel like I have to show you guys success every time I make a video about my health. And that's probably, that's an issue. Let's just be honest, that's an issue. So, as I was saying, yeah, the body image issue became a big problem for me. If you watched my video about my 2021 Fat Pusher Challenge, I did 71 miles, and I was really excited about that. But that was right about the time Sid and Mackie started doing videos about a race series they were doing, and they came up with this moniker, Eating Wins Races. And I was having a real mental struggle with that concept. Eating may well win races, but eating does not help a fat guy lose weight. And I really did wrestle with that as I did that ride, which was in September. And that was where my wife started to notice it, and I started to notice it too. I have unhealthy issues about my body image, about what I'm supposed to be. It was unhealthy of me to start thinking in those terms, the whole body image, etc., etc., and I'm still working on this. Believe me, I'm still working on this. But you know, even as a pastor, you know, it's not, I know better. As a pastor, to sit and look inward like that and feel like my personal failures are too shameful to talk about, or even my non-growth, or in this case, my having to retool some things and not seeing the success I expect, is just pride. And I need to deal with it. And as I've told my youth groups over the past, I've told my church in the past, it's not how you fall, it's not that you fall, it's how you get back up. And here I am, not taking my own preaching, taking my own advice, taking what I know from the Bible, because I'm afraid of failing people, afraid of failing and saying, okay, you expect me to have lost all 150 pounds by now. You definitely don't expect me to try to do anything less than show the best. Well, the reality is I'm human. I learned my limits, that you can't sustain life for over a year on 1,400 calories a day. I learned that Sid and Mackie makes sense, that eating does win races. You have to learn to balance these things. And that flip side is that there's also an unhealthy dimension of pressure and success just as much as there is pressure and failure. And if you don't keep it balanced, you're going to end up being just as bad off, even if you meet your goals. So that's what I'm learning. So where does that leave me now? That leaves me here in this place. Like I said, I'm still working on this journey. I am now retooling my caloric intake to be a little lower, but enough to start losing weight again, but not so low that I'm running out of energy, because that was a problem. I'm still in the gym 5 days a week. I am doing weights Monday through Friday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, primarily weights. Tuesday and Thursday, more core and plyometric based, if you will, workout that I got with my buddy Eddie, and I'm still doing all that. And as the weather breaks, I'm riding outside as much as I can. Emotionally, like I said, self-image, I am working on that issue and really hoping to deal with it, really hoping to just not let that feeling of I have to succeed because I'm putting myself out there on YouTube get in the way of the work I'm doing. I am doing this because I want to be healthy. I want to minister well into my later years. I want to spend time with my wife, my children, and my upcoming granddaughter and my granddogs, and I want to see more of our state on two wheels, and I want to just enjoy life. And fretting and frittering about self-image and about shame and pride of succeeding or not succeeding to a level of what I hope, you know, or what I think everybody thinks of me or thinks I should be doing, is what I'm working on, dealing with. I'm on a journey, and that is the good, the bad, and the ugly. With that, if I don't forget, or if I don't do it later, live the faith, ride it out, hope to see you on the trail.